ำลังจะนอนแล้วพี่
Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
โอ้เริ่มมามันก็จะมีเสียงน่ารำคาญเลยนะสวัสดีครับวันนี้ผมโบวี่ทีวีนะครับแล้วก็ผมโบนะวันนี้มาอยู่ในเกม Not for Broadcast กันนะครับโอ้แป๊บนึงเสียงน่ารำคาญมากโอเคเดี๋ยวเราจะเปลี่ยนหน้านี้เลยแล้วกัน
Cannot believe you do that.
เสียงแบบโอ้โหเราไปเพลย์เลยดีกว่า
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
เอเธอร์เกมเองเหรอ
We're still vassals, slaves. We're just in pretty
Naibo.
cages.
เราไปตอรี่โหมดกันดีกว่า
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
ไม่มีสัญญาณนะไม่มีสัญญาณต่อแล้วนี่คือสถานที่ใช่และเกมรอบฟอร์บอร์ดอะไรคือผมยังไม่รู้วิธีการเล่นเกมนี้เลยนะวันที่1เดี๋ยวอีกแล้วข้อเฮ้
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm
So you
just
David.
putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the 4 small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left.
What
These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk.
Coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quote.
You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any 3 and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Winning documentary series, The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the new
ให้เราทำอะไรอ่ะ
and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871.
You should be getting a signal from the studio soon.
Sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie, The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in posture.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day, you offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
3 2 1 เริ่มละ
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax,
ถ้า
mate.
เกิด
It's
ทำดี
all
มันจะ
great.
ขึ้นสีเขียวนะ
Honest Andy's
ถ้า
totally
เกิดเราทำไม่ดีมันก็จะ
independent
ขึ้น
and
สีแดงลง
corners the flowered market.
ข้างบนนะฮะ
Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer
คือ
Johnny
จอฝั่งขวา
Ham's
สุด
news
เนี่ยจะเป็นจอที่ออก
wins
อากาศอยู่ตอนนี้นะ
Sports
ส่วน
Fans
จอฝั่งตรงกลางเนี่ยเป็นจอมีเดียมก็คือจอหลักของเราจอนี้
Megan
นะ
will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to to hear what the leaders of this
Bad.
fledgling party
Shit.
have to say on their historic
ห้า
Button
4
2 in
3
3,
2 1 ไป
They're set.
Bit late there, mate. Next thing is the throwback to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
โอเคฮะคือตอนนี้กำลังตัดสู่หน้าอันนี้นะหน้าอะไรวะเรียกว่าอะไรแบบเป็นเหมือนอินโทรของเขา National Night New with James
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1 now.
But first,
Bit late there,
the voting,
mate.
and it's a decisive win for
ทัน
Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change. But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague.
นี่ตรงนั้น
The
ตรงนี้
opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one and the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leaders
ตา
accept
ดูเอาไว้
this.
And 3,
3 2
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
อ๋อ นี่คือโฆษณา อ๋อ อีดารานี่คือโฆษณานะ
Secret? That's all right. He doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
โอเค เราได้ A บวกนะ
We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb.
These aren't my
1.
cards. Please
Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit.
ให้ดู
just to
หนึ่ง
keep it
ให้ดูว่าใคร
interesting.
ที่กำลังพูดอยู่แล้ว ให้เราแต่มองไปที่เขา
Don't stay on
2
reaction shots for too
ห้าม
long.
ห้าม
A couple
น้
of
อยกว่า
seconds is
4 เหร
usually
อ
enough. Then the audience want to see who's
3
doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Quiet in the studio.
พร้อมยัง
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
With Johnny Hamsley.
Going in 5, 4,
3 2 1
Welcome
Screen
back to the
one,
National
Jeremy.
Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get
our
ready to go to
own
Megan on
reporter,
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
Shop
Blunderclatch
Shop
on screen 3 when she says his
Joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you
โอเคเปลี่ยนแบบเปลี่ย
that
น
being with you here today is a moment
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap. He really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this
Been
has
on that
been.
shot a bit long.
Do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion.
Remember the 10-second rule.
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of
ถ้า
place
เกิด
on
10
my
วิก็
magazine.
10 วิ
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding. Doesn't it?
ดูเร็ว
Giving
Audience is getting bored, mate.
for one's audience. Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few
ยากเหมื
months.
อนกันนะเนี่ย
What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
4 3
Exciting stuff.
2
Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Go to the film clip, screen 1. God, looks like Blunderclatch is really losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but we can't find out now. We'll go to the Russia's
โอ้
room
โห
together
แบบ
once the
ดู
broadcast's
สกรีน
over.
สกรีน3สกรีน4ที่มันดูมันคือแน่นอนนะว่า
You think
ไอ้
I
สิ่ง
don't know
ที่เราเห็น
that?
ในทีวีกับสิ่งจริงไอ้เรื่องจริงที่มันก็ไม่เหมือนกันแน่นอนนะ
Nolan, we mustn't think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
I did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, you remember? If only I listened to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance. You
เรีย
said
กทำไม
To see this.
คุณต้องเห็นนี่นะไม่ใช่ตอนนี้นะโอ้ทีหลัง ดูนี่สิ อะไร
the virus,
ไวรัสเหรอ
the sterility,
มันอะไรวะ
this formula. This is the key.
ที่มัน
Stop it all.
Yes.
สามารถหยุดพวกมันทั้งหมดได้ใช่พวกเราสามารถหยุดพวกมันได้
We have to ask ourselves.
เราต้องถามอะไรวะ
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 ไป
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm, and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
25 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your family...
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously,
We've had
worse. 5, 4, 3,
2.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their
เรา
acceptance
ต้องเฟดกล้องไป
address.
ไหนก่อน
Oh shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get
start?
ready to bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day!
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shit. You saw
I'm
right
sorry about the
through their
language there. I'm
Sorry
about the
that. I've had a
language
couple
there.
of celebrating
Sorry about that.
pints.
I've had a
Makes me
couple of celebrating
coarser than the
pints.
Granny's
Makes
funny.
me-
Coarser than the
Memorably
Granny's...
put. Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country
Mix
is
it up a bit,
suffering,
eh?
you don't need a party. You need a team.
Give us a reaction
A
shot.
team that can change things. But today is day 1 of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be
อยากแอบไปเปิด
celebrating.
เปิดอันหนึ่ง
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
Bored with this
You
shot,
know
mate?
the sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide.
Perfect.
And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Been on that shot a
Advance
bit
are going
long.
to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said
You're
we'd have to
bleeping
raise
normal stuff.
billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed
กำลังจะ
what's
เย็นดีเพิ่งทำงานวันแรก
ours,
กันเลย
that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private
it.
clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It
Nice.
ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll
Clear that,
start
clear
making
that,
it fair
clear that.
again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance.
Yeah.
And our apologies for the fruity language.
เนี่ยนะ
Hopefully we got that bleeped
เรา
out for you
ทำได้
in
ใช่เหรอ
time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. As the
อ๋อ
country
ไอ้
braces
ฝั่งซ้ายนี่
itself
คือ
for new
เสียง
government,
ปกติ
that's all from us this evening at the
เสียงของ
National
เมนหลักเรา
Nightly
นะ
News. We'll be back tomorrow with full
กลับมาต่อกับ
coverage
พว
of
ก
the
นี้
first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
สอง
Have a peaceful
หนึ่ง
night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go.
เย้
Ferry's about to
เก่งมาก
leave.
ทุกค
Probably
น
won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Same old boring politics then?
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a
ไม่
date.
ไม่
Try not to get
มีเดท
murdered.
อ๋อโอเคเฮ้ยสนุกแบบมึงมีใครอะไรเมนเข้ามาไหมถ้าเกิดเมนเข้ามาคือไม่เห็นเลยนะอ๋อไม่มีเลย ไม่เป็นไรเพราะมันดึกแล้วอันนี้เข้าใจไปดีเลยดีกว่า
This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once.
บวกนี่มันเป็นเยอะสุดแล้วปะ
This is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have
ได้เงิน
overall.
มาเท่าไหร่อ่ะ
That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares. You're a cleaner, for God's sake, so why would you care?
ไป
This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections, broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
แค่นี้
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight sees a return for leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report, before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the National Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global megacorporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chap. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic victory. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
ไปไอ้เหี้ยเราตัดช้าไปนิดนึง
You are. Don't worry, lady.
กันอะไรเนี่ย
Is here with a star of both states.
To the Shopbot films, I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my dear, I do hope you
ขอโทษนะ
Click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes route. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast
Every
and
day,
give it a
you
go.
offer me prawns
When you're done
every day.
listening to the
10
backstage
seconds, everybody.
segments, hit
It's how I
back.
show love.
You're trying to kill me.
อันนี้คืออะไร
Welcome to Crazy Neil's Crazy Pre-Christmas Sofa and Chair Deals. It's a steal with Crazy Neil. We don't care if you've been naughty or nice. We got green sofas, red sofas, brown cushions, pink cushions. You've got
เราไปต่อเลยดีกว่ารู้สึกว่าอยู่ด้านนี้แล้วกูปวดหัวมากเลยรับบทเป็นเป็นคนที่อยู่เบื้องหลังการทำรายการทั้งหมดวันแรกกับวันที่2วันที่3 and usually from อะไรวะใช่ป่ะอ่านนี้อะไรอ่ะ help you อะไรวะอ๋อพี่แค่นั้นไม่ใช่ตอบว่าอะไร you spend time idea will be free อะไรวะอันนี้คืออะไรอ่ะวันที่3วันที่4วันที่5วันที่6 A family matter อะไรอ่ะฉันขอโทษ so everything but you can are you okay ไม่อะไรอ่ะนี่ดูสิฉันรู้อะไรวะสปอร์ตอะไรอ่ะเงี้ยตอบมั่วเลยขอบคุณอะไรกูไม่ขอบคุณเอาดิไปต่อเลยวันที่6วันที่7วันที่8โอเคน่าจะตอบจากเป็นคำเป็นโอนิตแล้วนะนี่กูยังจะต้องมาเจอเกมโอนิตอีกแล้วเนี่ยนี่อุตส่าห์หนีจากเกมแบบพวกเลฟเฟอร์เดสอะไรพวกนี้มาแล้วนะไม่ใช่เลฟเฟอร์เดสดิมันต้องเรียกว่าเกมนี้นะเกมอะไรวะเกม The Walking Dead The Fallout ใครโทรมาโอ้เถอะนี่มันน่ารำคาญจริงไม่ได้ตายเถอะโอเคกลับมาเพื่อนพอเอาไปแต่นี่มันนึงได้โอเคดีขึ้นละฮะ
First of all, let's get the power on.
แรกเปิด
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
Persona, huh?
Right, let's load up the adverts.
Load up the adverts.
You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
อันนี้ใส่ไปเอาอันนี้ใส่ไปอันนี้ไม่อันนี้ด้วย
see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen.
A ซ้ายล่าง A ทีวีซ้ายล่างขวาB ทีวีขวาล่าง
Count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Now you're in auto headline mode, so if you don't bother to pick a photo before that clock runs out, the machine's just going to pick one at random for you. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get spoiled, you back at the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Snuggle hugs.
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pair. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush on the capital. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and mega morph with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
บริษัทมาช้าแป๊บนึงนะตัดไม่ใช่แป๊บนึงแต่มาช้าไปนิดนึงโอเค1 2 4 1 2 4
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't...
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
ไอ้เหี้ยกูลืมกดไอ้เหี้ยชิบหายแล้ว
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Tell you, how's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye.
คือผมลืมปรับเป็นโฆษณาเว้ย
She's good. You know she is.
I've set up a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody.
10 วินะทุกคน
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desk.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? Albeit my mother's.
Just hang on. Oh, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Back you go. Back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this is
naughty
boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swamp. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep. 1 sec, love. Titwank plays on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez.
Shit, what the
Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
Open! You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
No fucking way, lads. Believe that!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Okay.
It's alright, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way.
Come
on, let's welcome back. How hard can it be?
ซูมข้างในก่อน
10 seconds, everybody.
10 วินะทุกคน
We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4,
4
3,
2 1
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history, Aristotle.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I
Good luck,
play a
people.
young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah? Because in a way, she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably
Yeah.
shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now.
Make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
อีสัตว์
Well,
มันกดตัวปุ่
thankfully
ม
that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Actually pulls the dihydrogen monoxide right from your
แป๊บหนึ่ง
to give you the crisp, brittle.
What the fuck is that คืออะไรอ่ะสวัสดีคนดู1 คนก่อนหน้านี้ด้วยนะครับคือวันนี้แชทมันอาจจะไม่แจ้งเตือนน้องถ้าเกิดใครดูอยู่ก็พิมพ์อะไรเข้ามาได้เลยนะกูบอกเลยกูไม่ดูกูไม่ดู เกมนี้อาจจะงงนะนี่อันนี้คือเป็นจอมอนิเตอร์ของทั้งหมดที่เราจะต้องแบบสับเปลี่ยนไปเรื่อยๆอันนี้คือจอเมนหลักของเราฮะคือจอที่เราจะเห็นแบบเรียลไทม์ส่วนจอทางขวามือสุดเนี่ยจะเป็นจอที่แบบทางบ้านเห็นเนาะเป็นนั่นแหละวันที่8วันที่9วันที่10วันที่11วันที่12วันที่3วันที่14วันที่15 A Last Night คืนสุดท้ายอะไรอ่ะวันที่16วันที่17วันที่18 19 20 21 22วันที่42Again. 4 3 4 4 4 5 6 4 7 4 8 A Jingle Christmas แฮปปี้ฮอลิเดย์อะผลลัพธ์อาชีพใหม่วันที่72 A long weekend สัปดาห์แสนยาวนานเหมือนตอนนี้เราจะมาเที่ยวนะวันที่70วันที่98 A Promission to ดีวันที่101อฟฟิติเกตตั๋วฟรีตัวหนักบ้างวันที่110จะอะไรเข้ามาวะเนี่ยวันที่100 200วันที่150 3โอ้ยให้ตายเถอะวันที่153 The Template กูต้องเล่นต่อเลยเหรอเนี่ย
Good evening, Alex. It's Boozman
สวัสดีตอนเย็นหน้าเล็ก
Boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such
อีกแล้วเหรอ
Yeah, well, eh?
โอเคฮะแบบออนิตมาอีกแล้วฮะ
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talk to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality
10 ปี
actually
เลยกันทุก
slip
ค
out?
น
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
2 1
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Bloodbath avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Questions have been raised about the government's judgment, with Prime Minister Peter Clement forced to apologise this morning for seeming to endorse the self-combusting plaything in this publicity shot taken last Christmas. Let's hope his niece recovers quickly.
Table for 2. Johnny Hamsleeves and Tiffany Lamore were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year, and this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime tag team partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today. though its critics are skeptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact that men can finally take equal responsibility for contraception, but others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
ทันตัว3-4อะเราสามารถกดปุ่มได้แล้วต้องไปนั่งเดินเหมาละมันวุ่นวายมาก
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new life?
Quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
No. My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddis spatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of
Swinstead
for a reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. Yes. Dad tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods.
Good times.
That's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel. We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts in an undressed bare chest protest.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's starting!
Please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right, you buggers! Tilly ho! Tilly! Get the dog!
Tilly's our mummy. She's proper cracked off too.
Well, at least you are showing some shame.
Free at last! Oh! Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already. Nice work, boy. He gets that from me, you know.
มันไอ้ผู้ชายมันแก้ผ้าเว้ย
What are you trying to achieve here? I just want to be fucking well heard, that's all.
ไอ้เกมที่โบเล่นเนี่ยนะ
ใช่คือเกมมันไม่ใส่เลยนะเกมแบบ
Sorry, Daddy.
ไอ้เหี้ย
บุญด้านล่างแบบแม่งร้อนจ้อนเลย
We will rise again.
ถึงว่าแม่งต้องมีเซนเซอร์ถึงว่าไม่มีใครสตรีม
ทั้งโอ้โหทั้งคำหยาบทั้งอะไรแบบ
Are you okay?
Daddy, how could you?
อ้าวโดนยิงเหรอ
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as
พี่ไม่รู้เหมือนกันน่าจะชัวร์ ไม่โอเคดูไม่โอเคเลยตอนนี้ไม่โอเคที่จะเอามาสตรีมถ้าทำมีคลิปแล้วแบบเซนเซอร์รัวก็อาจจะพอไหว
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough shaft work to last me a
แต่ให้ส
lifetime.
ตรีมไม่ไหวพี่ว่าบินแน่
But
May-
can a
maybe-
naked
maybe
protest
มัน-
movement ever really catch on?
Okay,
It
you
doesn't seem
let-
like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country
oh,
is
yeah,
becoming
yeah.
a very different place.
Yes, but seriously,
โบเล่นในตรงเนี้ย
who's gonna
ถ้า
run
เกิด
around naked in
ช่อง
Harlem?
บูมไม่บินก็
Hopefully not you,
โอเค
Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the
จะ
slogans.
ทำใหม่เลยจะถึง100อยู่แล้ว
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be
เอา
live
จริง
from
โบ
the
ไปแลก
Sports
ไล
Board
ค์กับส
finals.
ตรีมเมอร์ให้
Stick
มันถึง
around,
100
I
ก็
won't
ได้
miss it.
We'll be back.
ให้มันพอส่งดาวได้อะไรอย่างเงี้ย
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Yeah, Lou.
busting.
วันนี้พี่เป็นเฮียอะไรก็ไม่รู้แต่ไม่ใช่วันนี้ดิตั้งแต่เมื่อวานมาก่อนแล้วอ่ะ
I know.
แจ้งเตือนไม่ขึ้น
Very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
เว็บไซต์โฆษณา พี่มันอันนี้หรือเปล่าแบบอะไรนะพี่พูดว่าไงนะ
ฮะ
พี่พูดว่าไงนะ
พี่ว่าแจ้งเตือนไม่ขึ้น
นั่นแหละ พี่ลองแบบไปดูที่ตั้งค่าดูเลยพวกเนี้ย
Alex, Boson, we're getting reports in that naked
ตอน
protesters
เทส
might
มัน
try
ขึ้น
and spoil
แต่
the
คน
sports
กด
board
จริง
final
ๆไม่
by
ขึ้น
waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast
มันอาจจะเป็น
ไม่อย่าง
ที่
เวอร์เลย
PM for
อาจจะ
God's
เป็นที่
sake.
ตัว
Wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
ตัวของอันนี้หรือเปล่าพี่ลองไปลองรีโปรแกรมอะไรพวกนี้ดู
ก็น่าเป็นที่สตรีมแลบแล้วแหละ เพราะว่าคอมเมนต์ก็ไม่ขึ้นด้วย เพราะปกติขึ้นตลอดทุกเมนต์ทุกไลน์ของพี่ที่ผ่านมา
นั่นแหละเชี่ยลืมใส่โฆษณา
เนี่ย
Well, that's what it says.
Yes, I understand
มัน
that, but
เท
I
ส
always
แล้ว
say
ขึ้นใช่ปะ
welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one
Recent
accurate.
Event มันก็บอกว่ามีคนแบบคนไลค์คนอะไรเรา แต่มันไม่ขึ้นในสตรีมให้เรา
10 seconds.
ไม่ควร
Just
ตีน
stop the
อะ
drip again. Have they not
That's about-
fixed this?
You want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4,
3
3.
2 1
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick, reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You joined me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season.
อะไรหรือเปล่าอย่างเงี้ย
First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending. It's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part.
ตบหน้ากันแล้ว
Still going on.
เปเมนต์ไปเลยว่าแลกต่อแลกติดตามอะไรเงี้ย ผมโบฐานคนดูถือว่าค่อนข้างแน่นพอสมควรนะเผยโอพี่ซ้ำ
ใช่เหรอแต่ทุกครั้งที่พี่ไลฟ์แบบถามคนดูพี่โอเคเลยนะ
She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not up to last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up
ค
the
นดู
ball.
แล้วไม่เหมือนกันไง อย่างที่โบเข้ามาดูก็คือเพื่อนโบใช่ป่ะ
ใช่
อย่างพวกพี่ก็คือแบบเพื่อนพี่อะไรเงี้ย
From Harris. Back to Striker. For shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
ถือว่ามาได้ไกลสำหรับไลฟ์แค่นี้ ตอนที่สตาร์ทไม่พี่เที่ยวกว่านี้เยอะ
Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
คน follow 44 คน อย่างน้อยทำให้มันถึง100ก่อนอะ
But what do I know?
ชั่วโมงบินโบ
Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy
พี่
with
พยายาม
that.
ช่วยเต็ม
So
ที่
really
นะ
not
แล้ว
a
พี่เอาไอ้เขาปลอมไปกดไลค์มัน
We can only hope the round 2 treats you a bit better. But first, of
เรา
course,
ลองไป
after
หา
the
กลุ่ม
ref
พว
section,
ก
it's
สตรีม
time
เมอ
to
ร์อะไร
change
เงี้ย
ends.
แลกไลค์แลกแชร์อะไรเงี้ย
Now we have
อ
the
ย่างน้อยดันให้
ceremony
มันถึง
changing
100
off the ends.
เรื่องอย่างนั้นเราปั้นเอง
แต่ไม่ผิดกฎใช่ไหม
ไม่ผิด
And of
เพ
course,
ราะพี่
now
ก็
they
ดั
go
นมา
back
เหมือ
to
นกัน
the starting positions, as that makes sense.
เอาจริงอะพี่ไปแลกมา300 คนด้วยซ้ำ
Striker giving it large. Second round, We're into round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of
300
streak
คน
on
ด้
the
วย
pitch.
ซ้ำประมาณ400 คนอ่ะ400ด้วยซ้ำที่แบบแลกไลน์มา
Try and ignore all of that security. I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the
ส่วน
situation
มากเขา
resolved as
สาย
soon as
เทาไง
possible.
ที่เขายอมแลกแบบกูยอมมากดติดตามก็ได้เพราะเขาสายเทาอะไรประมาณ
It's
เนี้ย
quite an eyesore, and women's body. Yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into
พอเรา
round
ก
2
ดเขา
now,
ก่อน
and Harry's absolutely determined to
โอ
close
เค
that
ติด
massive
เตียง
gap.
แล้วติดตามมึงแล้วมึงกดตามกูด้วย
Belly striker.
ถ้ามึงไม่กดกูก็ไปอันฟอร์ม
tightest
แค่
player
นั้น
I've
จ
seen
บ
ever.
ประมาณเนี้ย
Harris. And was that a fitted thumbscrew? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move.
เฟซบุ๊กมึงโกงได้ตรงนี้คือเขาว่าแลกไลน์นี่แหละ
Back to striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is
อ
of
ย่างน้อย
course
ดัน
the
ติดตามถึง100 พอ
ground.
อย่างถึง800แบบพี่
อยากให้แบบมันแค่ถึง100พอโบไม่ต้องการเลย
Both sides of the bucket.
ไม่ใช่800ดิ600เนี่ยมาไงก็ไม่รู้
I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming,
พี่
jaw
กดแรกป
dropping.
ระมาณ400อ่ะ400นี่คือแบบแม่งไม่มีเหี้ยเลยไม่
Harris's neck or
แทบ
head.
ไม่ได้มีเพื่อนมาดูเลย
And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there.
อย่ากดเยอะเกินกดแค่100 เดียว100กว่าให้แบบเลเวลอัพผ่านแล้วคนส่งดาวได้หลังจากนั้นเราปั้นเองแบบนี้จะเวิร์กกว่า
Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
ยาวแบบพี่รู้พี่ตอนนั้นพี่นึกคืออะไรเข้าน้ำปวดขี้ทีนึงก็แลกไลน์กับคนแบบ10 คน
We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dancing scene. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over.
Yeah. เน้นเลยอ่ะ
I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying.
ตายละ
around,
ไลฟ์สตรีมไหมเนี่ย
Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Oh boy, cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not bad. Well, that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but, of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. Wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
มาโพสต์ละเมอครับ
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So,
เหมือนอะไรวะวันนี้มีอะไรแข่งกัน
Tommy
ปะ
Harris.
แข่งเลย
That's all right.
นั่นสิ
Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there.
พี่ควรทำเสียง
Absolute
ไง
contact
เวลา
caution
ตี
from the referee.
ทำเสียงปกติแบบนี้หรือว่ากระแดะนิดนึงวะ
กระแดดนิดนึงคือเสียงมันเป็นอย่างหนึ่งที่เรียกคนดูเลย
And she's let the nerves get to her. What the
เยอะ
hell
เลยครับ
was
ทุกคน
that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe
หน้า
it.
ตบไปเปล่า
For God's sake. Okay, like...
อันนี้ก็เสียง
I don't know what I can be doing
อัน
about
นี้
this.
คือเสียงปกติที่คุยไง
I
ถ้าแบบ
mean, it's sort of
กระแดะนิดนึงอะ
breasts and genitals for all to
สวัสดี
see.
ครับทุกคนโอ้โหนี่ไม่ได้เจอกันนานเลยแหมคิดถึงทุกคนมากเลยนะครับ
All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are
นะ
trying to carry on, but of
ไม่ไหว
course
แล้ว
it's
พี่
difficult because these protesters are
เกมเหี้ยอะไรเนี่ย
taken off soon so we can carry on with the match.
มีเวิร์กนะ
Nonsense is going on here.
เดี๋ยวพูดปก
Yes,
ติที่ตรงนี้
yes, very good. Take them away.
แล้วแบบเสียงกระแดะพี่แบบนี้มันโอเค
Bloody
ป่ะ
wasters,
ก็ได้
absolute
นะ
wasters.
ไม่แย่
สวัสดีทุกคนนะครับแหมไม่ได้เจอกันนานเลย
Oh, jog off.
อะไรประมาณเนี้ย
So An absolute bloody
แม่คิดถึงทุกคนเหมือนกันนะครับ
Okay, and now we're going to
ส
go
วัสดี
into
ค
the
รับวัน
final
นี้
round.
ช่อง
And
เอ็ม
of course, as
ซั
it's
ด
a
การ
Tuesday,
ครับ
the
วันนี้
final
ผม
round
มา
is a 9
เนี่ย
mile.
ได้
ครับเป็นพิเศษไม่หรอกครับผมไม่ได้เป็นแขกรับเชิญผมเป็นพิธีกรนะครับวันนี้แล้วก็มีแขกรับเชิญท่านหนึ่งนะครับผมไม่บอกว่ายังเป็นใครผมจะไม่บอกว่ายังเป็นใครเดี๋ยวไว้เจอทีหลังแต่เรามาดูผู้เล่นกันก่อนนะครับวันนี้ที่มี4ท่านด้วยกันครับบิตกิจ
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place.
ไอบิทแหละ
About time, if you ask me.
แล้วก็น้องบูวี่สุดที่รักของผมคนหนึ่งนะครับไอ้น้องเลว
She's juggling it around from her
แล้ว
hands.
ก็ชานมอีกท่านนะครับไอชานมไอเด็กเบส
เนี่ยแบบนี้มันได้เนี่ยได้
And now she's and she's
แล้ว
spotted
ก็
out.
อี
She
ก
did
ตัว
the
นะ
egg
ครับ
spit.
ช่อง
So a wonderful move
นัต
there.
เท
Quite
ล
late
นะครับ
on.
แล้วมันจะโวยวายโนตาต้าโอเคโนตาต้าได้ครับโนตา
On
เท
it,
ล
like a carp on it.
มาผู้แข่งขันทั้ง4ท่านนะครับผมจะมีแต้มให้แล้วของรางวัลจะเป็นอะไรไม่ต้องรู้ครับไปรู้ทีหลัง
เอา
And he's peeling it as if
แต่
it
บ
were
ท
a
ลงโทษ
banana,
มี
which is
แน่
a
นอนครับ
move. Not sure if we have any
มีบทลงโทษด้วยเหรอ
what's going on today.
แน่นอนครับผม
And he's still there.
มันต้องมีแน่นอนบทลงโทษไม่มึงก็กูก็ต้องโดน อันนี้มีแน่นอนครับ
That is the end. What a pathetic. There we go, Jeremy. That is over.
ผมจะไม่ติ่มเลยวิธีนี่ไอ้พวกรถตู้ไอ้พวกคนอยู่รถตู้มันคิดว่ามึงเก่าทักเหลืออะไรเงี้ยผมยอมโดนด้วย
Contestants in, please.
เอ้าถ้าเขาทำเควสสำเร็จผมยอมโดน
อ๋อ
เอาไปเลย
Of the first annual Sports Board Championship.
ยังไงครับหน้าขาวป่ะหน้าขาวไหม
ได้ข่าวไหมได้ข่าวไหม
หน้าขาวป่ะล่ะสำหรับคนที่เปิดกล้องเท่านั้นครับแอบนี้แต่ซีนมีแค่นี้ครับ
Once again, a win for everyone, including me. As
สำหรับคนที่ไม่เปิดกล้องเขาเรียกว่าติ๋ม
I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively.
ไม่ต้องพูดถึง
And thanks again for watching the
อันนี้เป็นเควสจากแม่ยกจากทางบ้านนะครับ
What more is there to say? I'm Patrick
เควสจาก
Bannon.
ทางบ้าน
Looking forward to
ภาร
celebrating
กิจ
tonight.
อาจจะยากนิดนึงนะครับ แต่เราจะไม่ไปส่งคนแค่1 คนเราจะส่งไปถึง2 คนด้วยกันคนที่เปิดกล้องเท่านั้น หรือใครเปิดต่อผมส่งเพิ่ม ถ้าคุณทำสำเร็จผมโดนคนเดียว
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shot
พอ
me.
ได้ปะ
Fucking
ได้
microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
มึงตายมึงตาย
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
ไม่ได้สตรีมไม่ใช่เหรอ
immune to your
สตรีมอยู่
I'm wearing
เอ้า
you
สภา
down.
พแล้วเขาก็รู้หมดเดียวเราวางแผนอะไรชั่วอะไรกันไหม
โบสตรีมเกมอยู่เนี่ย
เฮ้ยอะไรล่ะเขาไม่ได้ยินหรอก
เกมมันหมดไปแล้ว
โอเคเอาแผนชั่วพี่ก็รั่วหมดที่
ตายแล้วพี่ไม่เหลือเลยอ่ะไอ้ที่พูดมาไม่เหลือสักอย่างเลยพี่
โอ้โหสภาพไม่บอกก่อนแล้ว
นะครับคนดูในไลฟ์ผมเป็นคนเป็นพยานนะครับ
So sorry about all these buckets.
ให้ได้ยินกันตรงนี้เลย
ตั้งแต่ปั๊มไลฟ์แล้วพี่ตั้งแต่ตรงนั้นเลยอ่ะ
จริงอันนี้เรื่องจริงยูทูบเบอร์หลายคนทำไม่ใช่ยูทูบเบอร์สตรีมเมอร์ใน Facebook ทำหลายคนครับหรือจะเถียง
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
แม่งสตรีมจริงสตรีมก็ไม่บอกมาโถบอกก่อนก็ได้ก็แผนชั่วหลุดไปหมดแล้วเนี่ยโบ
พี่ผมบอกตั้งแต่ก่อนที่ผมจะสตรีมแล้วผมจะหนีไปเนี่ย
3.
เอาก็เห็นว่าเปิดไมค์นึกว่าแบบพักยกอะไรอย่างงี้
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement.
โอเคแผนผมนะครับอันนี้แค่แผนแรก
Oh please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in
อยากรู้แผน2ดิอยากรู้แผน2ติดตามกันต่อไปครับ
Now, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers most.
ไม่อันนี้แค่แผนแรกนี่เบามากเบามาก
The new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts projects.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make.
ตอนนี้เขายังรันข่าวกันไม่เลิกครับ
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of
ข่าว
being
นี้แค่หัว
human.
ค่ำไม่ใช่เหรอ
Sorry,
อันนี้คือข่าวเที่ยงคืน
cured death.
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was
ใคร
definitely
มัน
a
จะ
drop
มาแห
there.
กหูแหกตาดูขนาดนั้นเที่ยงคืนก็ดูซีรีส์กันหมดแล้วปะโถ
มันข่าวมาตอนกี่เอมวะมาตอน 7 AM ป่ะเอ้ย7 PM นี่มันกี่โมง
7 PM ก็1 ทุ่ม
ก็คือข่าวตอน1 ทุ่มอะไรอย่างงี้
แล้วตอนนี้มันตี 1 ครึ่งวะโถ
My man came and got me from school. He was
ไม่เป็น
going
ไร
to the
เนี่ยเดี๋ยว
hospital.
ก็มีคนตื่นแค่ขี้ตามมาดู
He'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He was all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said,
ไม่ตึงครับไม่ตึง
I don't ever want to be a burden to the
ไม่ตึง
people
เล
I
ย
live
กอดฟอนทำไมเนาะ
ก็ไม่ได้กอดฟันนะ
Nope, 3 days later he was
กอด
back
ฟอน
home.
เนาะ
He lived with us for 9 miserable
ไม่
years
มีนะ
after
ไม่กอ
that.
ดฟอน
He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
Sounds...
พักหน่อย ให้ฟาร์มมันหลอดก็เมื่อยมือป่ะ
Awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't.
อยากแกงไอชานมจังวะ
It were a crime, you see, and she didn't want to lose the children as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centers.
คือรายละเอียดยิบย่อยมันเยอะมาก
Everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
มีอีกวิธีเขาสนใจได้ไหม
This microphone pack has just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it fried my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry. My apologies.
Are you not worried that this new
แล้วแค่
system
เปลี่ยน
might
ชื่อ
be
ดิส
open
เรียกร้อง
to
ความสนใจ
abuse?
เขาเว้ยเดี๋ยวเขาเข้ามา
Sorry. I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of
เธอยับเลย
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
That one was
ดู
massive.
แดงเถือก
Bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final
Aja doon
days
na
eating
tapos higa
gourmet
tayo,
food
boy,
and
boy.
drinking fine wine and
May do
luxury
lok.
spas and
Kaya man-
gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... With a rutting twat.
Prime Minister, please.
ไม่หลอกหรือไม่เหลือ
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan.
กูทำงานเหี้ยอะไร
We're only
เนี่ย
getting
มาพิ
started.
การพี่ว่าเปลี่ยนกากับผมมา
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes.
ก็ดีหีบหัว
That's all we have time for tonight.
ใช่
Thank yous go out to
เบอร์ไป
our
หมดแล้ว
guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
1 0 ไป
Good job, everybody.
So they just... I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
อะไรวะมีคนดู3 คนนะครับมีการแน่นอน ไม่พี่แบบถ้าพี่จะดูอ่ะพี่ต้องดูตอนที่ผมไลฟ์ในเฟซบุ๊กเล่นต่อดีไหมเนี่ย
ต่อเลยยาวๆ
เดอะล็อกดาวน์วันที่เท่าไหร่ไม่รู้มีสายเราเข้ามาแล้วว่ะพี่การกระโดดไม่รับสาย
ฮะ
ยังไม่รับสายพี่การ
เอาใครไม่รับสายวะ
You need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen.
เฮ้ยเอาผีเหรอ
Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it now. Look left, Alex. Out the window.
ลุกมองไปนอก
Over it, the little
หน้า
bastards.
ต่าง
Turn on the Snuggles app by pushing the big red button, and it'll deal with them for you.
ตัวเหี้ยอะไรยุ่ยเยี่ยวไปเลย
Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right.
ใช่พี่เกมนี้แฟนตาซีกว่าที่คิด
Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to the national nightly news. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture?
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by a
Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Outside.
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Electric Fever Dream, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch as Helen.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
And she says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
It's the National Weather Report.
5, 4, 3.
It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefox? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehug's toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs were so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
Armed with blunt weapons, the Mrs. Snugglehugs are only ankle height and therefore able to be kicked away easily by young, healthy individuals. They do, however, pose a particular risk to the elderly or those with pre-existing medical conditions like fatal bruise syndrome.
Going stir-crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
In response to a nationwide lack of toilet paper, which was of course raided by the Mrs. Snugglehugs to construct their vast hives, many of the nation's adults have turned to a more childish solution, or at least that's their excuse.
Going it alone, popular crustacean Johnny Hamsleeves is back in the news today as his astonishing photograph that he leaked himself shows exactly how he's been spending his lockdown.
It seems that when the lockdown was announced, Johnny's long-term partner, Tiffany Lamour, was busy in the capital preparing her new show, Chocolate Clit Bombs, for its now postponed grand opening. Let's hope the exhibits don't melt.
It's great to see a celebrity using their time wisely, as the government suggests, by developing a new hobby or fetish, and most importantly, by keeping your spirits up. Nice to see Johnny doing his little bit.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen Horgensvoord, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination. With the recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Greetings from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you. I don't know what a Mrs. Pluckless Pug is, but they sound like they're causing you guys real problems. We've been trapped down here for 8,961 days now, and all I can say is I sure am glad Mum and Dad chose not to get on that skate craft. Since they grew me and the rest of the family, we've been getting on famously, and sometimes Mum stops crying for upwards of 20 minutes. Also, it turns out, at push, you can eat flards, if you can handle the stomach cramps and the amnesia. Greetings from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
But everyone knows time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why baths take so long.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bath,
the quicker the relativistic forces of temporal causality will have a measurable effect upon the fixed dimensional parameters of your environment.
Yes, I've said that many times.
Papers, please. With the lockdown becoming ever more rigorously enforced, having a passport is becoming increasingly important, Alex.
The government caused controversy today by announcing a fresh charge of passport fraud with an imaginative form of punishment for those found guilty of this brand new but incredibly serious crime.
In what's being called a draconian measure, the government has reinstated the ancient right of trial by custard. Just like in the old days, if you float, you're executed on the spot. But if you sink, well, you'll go well with profiteroles, Jeremy.
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. I know many of you feel lost right now. I know I do, which has nothing to do with the waning support for the government, and I don't know why you keep saying that. We're doing loads, okay? We have scientists looking into the lifespan of lithium batteries. Good ones too. Not the red wine cures cancer kind. And no, I can't tell you when all this will be over. So just stop asking, will you? Let's stop focusing on us and what we're doing and start focusing on you. Because I have some questions for you, actually. Why don't you think the rules apply to you? Do you really think sunbathing is classed as exercise? And since when was hummus essential? Doesn't feel so good, does it? So yes, we've probably made some mistakes. But for now, let's not look at who did what or why. Let's put the full responsibility for this on you. Feel guilty. Feel afraid. Feel anxious. Turn on each other if you have to. Fight over sponges and then go home and stay there and think about what you've done. Just don't turn on us. That won't help anyone. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were, say, a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Rimington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
เขามีจับเวลาด้วย
อันนั้นเวลาถ่าย
จับเวลาแบบอีนี่จะพูดหยาบแล้วนะประมาณเนี้ย
First tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield Millkirky is the CEO of Rimington's Fist, internationally respected business Svengali, Sophia Rimington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory in what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
I've always seemed to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snuggle Hugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Rimington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Rimming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Rimington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little executioner just wiggle and wave his tiny knee and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously, and he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Rimington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
ไม่ทราบว่าคุณดีๆร้องเพลงสีให้น้องบอสได้ไหมครับ
To create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
Won't be my feature she's making up next.
ที่ดูแค่เขาเดียวนะอีก2คนนะใครครับแสดงตัวหน่อยก็ได้นะครับคอมเมนต์พูดคุยกันได้นะครับ
Each box of snuggle traps contains 8 devices,
ไม่กัดแต่หันไม่ได้
all
ครับ
guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snuggle Hugs in its tracks. That's enough
แต่
for
ตอนนี้เกมกำลังตึง
a
ฮะ
lawn
ต้องรอ
or
ช่วงพัก
4
เบรกนะ
window
ผม
box.
จะออกแบบได้
And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about snuggle traps is they're powered by next-generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are crying. They fear you. And then you're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys, but they're explosive fun.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh, yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we...
She seems very nice, that young Miss Remington.
I think she'd make an interesting dinner guest.
Do you think so? I think I'd rather spend the evening shoving Delia's sacred crystals up my sceptical arsehole.
Hello, mate. It's Dave. You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home. Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
อะไรวะเปิดฟังหน่อยมา
Only $22.99 a month. This is a deal.
โอ้ยังไม่หมดอีกเหรอเนี่ย
I've said it. He must know. He's not stupid. I just don't want it getting back to him that it came from us. Hey, no, Jenny. You're not backing out on me now. We're in this together. Look at him. I've made the cake. You're on the balloons. I've got no idea how old he is. 40? 17? Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3... Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Roof. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise I've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now available in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. Shh. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit.
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
And Katie, how do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs. Snugglehug situation will all blow over, but it won't.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborns, or at a push, a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan.
If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health, so the system can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
The Global Alliance of Fish People are amassing an army amassing an army to kidnap us.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
But
Me.
I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
You do, Alan. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. Some real food for thought there from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. But my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
Mm-hmm. And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? Oh, God. I'm just looking for a sign. There it is. Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh, yeah, that is that's strange. That's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon. All right, fine. I'm not on Bannon Avenue. I'm at home, to be honest. All right, fine. Well, I'm in my bathroom technically, but you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. It's you know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound? What the hell's that?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, it does. Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks, right.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
No, you're lying, aren't you? Oh, shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just piss off, you little fucking snuggle fucks! I'm too talented to die! Oh, what the fucking hell? Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
What's the only Satan? Oh, God, no. They're coming to me. They're coming over. No, you fucking little shit.
Thank you, Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be happy to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes, to Bannon Avenue. No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I don't have to. No, you're being a child. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. No? No? Oh, 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly. Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. National Nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah. I think I heard about that, actually, yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy?
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else? Yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Thank you. This.
Is that... What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy.
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh, well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you. Both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie, always has been. I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So...
Well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatre agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffeecup and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We've got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right. Don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers.
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does, yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
yes, right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear, because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? No. But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow. You really have taken yourself to new depths. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck, shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
Yeah, and Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... we end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, do you know, I might be able to... Hang on, can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming. Or wanted. At all. I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to... endure.
Where's the button on this fucking... Ah.
Thoughts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm, like wise old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow, they're always in good moods, but that's 'cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Please do not applaud, I'm a massive fraud, shacked up with the agent while the wife thinks I'm abroad.
You said you were done.
Oh, I say that to everyone. Sometimes when I'm tipsy, me and Angela still have fun. Mr. Bear, I don't even care. Sonia takes it up the bum and shaves her pubic hair.
Mr. Bear, that's an overshare. That was for your birthday and you're never going back there.
Mr. Bear, I'm in disrepair. Didn't check my prostate, now it started sprouting there.
Mr. Bear, I have private health care, 90 pairs of shoes and 30 different types of cookware.
Mr. Bear, I feel laissez-faire. Maybe when the lockdown lifts, I'll hit on the au pair.
Mr. Bear, I don't mean to swear, but I'll give a fucking nickel for a lock of Johnny's hair.
Mr. Bear, what a lovely chair. Mr. Bear, you've got the news caught up in your hair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? Mr. Bear, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's It's a hat entirely made of avocado pear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is a cutlery pie. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the sound a mushroom makes opening a deck chair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is a suit for a fly. That is a goat in a tie. That is a dream when you fry.
Pretty much run its course. That's all we have time for tonight. But before we go, I just wanted to leave you with this final thought. And by you, I actually mean you, Alex. Up in the broadcast room, making sure we all look our best and keeping the signal strong and the language mild. And Alex is damn good at it. Alex is our invisible foundations. You at home can't see them, but they're always there, keeping us afloat. Of course, we can see you, Alex. I saw you the other day in the corridor. Do you remember? I tried to catch your eye, but I think you must have been deep in thought because you just sort of walked past me like I wasn't there. I try and sit in your eye line in the canteen some days. Every day, if I'm honest. Oh no, it's wrong. I know you're married. I've done some digging. I found out about the fact that you risked being arrested to help Chris. And that you stretched yourself to let Susie go travelling. And no pushover parent either. You kept Charlie safe, even if he resents you for it. At least that's what he told me when I talked to him. Oh, don't worry, Alex. I wore a disguise. And I spoke like this so he wouldn't recognise me famous voice. I'm not crazy, Alex. I don't want you to think I would ever do anything to hurt Charlie or Susie. Sam's lucky. Lucky to have you, Alex, but if something happened, could you possibly love me? I mean, if Sam had a terrible accident, obviously not now. I know you love your family, but if something happened... Say Sam took a massive electric shock and went into some sort of coma, could you love me then? Could you? Would you, please? My name's Megan Wolf. Have a deceitful night. And we're out. God, I'll tell you something. It was like a God-given relief being able to use my own voice there for a second. I've been doing this posh gobshite's voice for 10 years now with friends who give me something fierce.
But now, more than ever, even though we're apart, we want you to know it still matters how you look. Loads, actually. To the distant divas and the isolation idealists, the healthcare heroes and the lockdown lovers.
รายการนางอาจจะเรียกว่าผม
อะไรตื่น
ฮะ
เฮ้ย
To come together.
อะไรวะ สุดแล้ว โอเคครับ วันนี้ผมโบครับแล้วก็เกม Not
Good evening. I'm Megan
for
Wolf. And I'm
Podcast
Jeremy
นะครับ
Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
ลากันไปก่อนนะครับแล้วก็
มาไปก่อน
ใช่ขอมาไปก่อนใช่เหรอพี่เอาไว้เจอกันพรุ่งนี้ครับว่าจะสตรีมเกมอะไรก็น่าจะสตรีมเกมนี้ต่อนะโอเคสวัสดีครับทุกคนที่ดูอยู่เจอกันพรุ่งนี้ครับบ๊ายบายจะอ้วก